Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Quote of the day: always make a total effort even when the odds are against you. Today the topic of presentation is leadership theories. I am Dr. Rabbia Iqbal, PGR Community Medicine. I am presenting under the supervision of Professor Dr. Saira Afzal, Dean, Institute of Public Health, Lahore. Learning objectives of today's presentation is introduction to the leadership, introduction to leadership theories, type of leadership theories, criticism on the theories, and MCQs at the end. Learning outcome: by the end of this presentation, participant will be able to understand about the leadership and different type of leadership theories. So what is leadership? Leadership is the ability to inspire and motivate others to achieve a common goal. It is not simply a position of authority, but rather a set of qualities and skills that enable individual to influence and guide others. Leadership traits associated with great leadership are intelligence, competency, creativity, decisiveness, people skill, and trustworthiness. Introduction to the leadership theories. Leadership theories provide framework for understanding how leaders emerge, what behavior they exhibit, how they influence their followers. These theories often valuable insight for developing effective leadership style and fostering successful organizations. So the types of leadership theories are Greatman theory, behavioral theory, trait theory, contingency theory, contemporary theory. Number one is the Greatman theory. According to the Greatman theory, the best leaders are born, not made. The ability to lead is inherent. Leaders are inborn trait of courage, intelligence, confidence, intuition, and charm, among others. So the characteristic of Greatman theory are the theory linked with the statement of famous historian Thomas Carlyle: the history of the world is nothing but the biography of a great man. Leaders are gifted with a unique quality which impress the mass. Leaders work like hero, accomplishes his goal for his followers. Leadership qualities and effectiveness are independent variable. Situational factors like nature, need of followers, the demand of the task, and the general socio-economic environment have little or no influence on leaders' emergence or effectiveness. The criticism of the theory: it is clear that the Greatman theory has no scientific basic and empirical validity. The theory had an absurd belief that some
Dr. Rabbia, we can't hear you.
criticism of the theory: it is clear that Greatman has no scientific basis and empirical validity. The theory has an absurd belief that some people become great and successful leaders independent of their environmental situation, assumes leadership is the male dominated great man. The theory completely rejected by the modern leaders and theorists who believed and proved that the leaders are not born, but they can be made with the proper training and skills. So second is the trait theory. Their theory possesses that the effective leader possesses certain identifiable personal characteristics that distinguish them from non-leaders. Unlike the great man theory, trait theory does not strictly claim leaders are destined, but it is emphasizes that the specific personality trait increases the likelihood of the leadership success. So it is proposed by Ralph Stockdale in 1940. This theory was founded by the studying the characteristic of different leaders. The characteristics are compared to those of the potential leader to determine their potential to lead effectively. This theory was common in military and still used as a criteria to select candidate for commission. Scholars searching trait theory focus on following traits: physiological traits, which include height, weight, structure, color, appearance; socioeconomic characteristics, which include gender, religion, marital status, age, occupation; personality trait include extraversion, self-confidence, patient; intellectual trait include decisiveness, intelligence, and judgmental ability. Next is the task relation trait, which include attainment, dedication. Social characteristics include socially active and cooperative. So the advantages of the trait theory is it is a naturally pleasing theory. It serves as a yardstick against which the leadership trait of an individual can be assessed. It gives a detailed knowledge and understanding of leader element in the leadership process. So the criticism on the theory is this theory also ignored the environmental and the situational factors like Gateman theory. The list of traits is vast, which make it complex. These listed traits kept changing from time to time. Trait theory was unable to explain failure in the leadership. Failure existed even though leader possessed certain traits specified in the list. So the next is the behavioral theory. Introduction. Behavioral theory focus on the specific behavior and the action of the leader rather than the trait or characteristic. Behavioral theory urges that leadership can be learned because it is based on observable behavior. It emerged in 1940s into 1950s when researchers began studying leadership scientifically. So the core assumption of this is leadership is based on behavior, not personality. Effective leadership behavior can be identified. Leadership skill can be taught and developed. There are different behavioral style of leadership. So the major behavioral studies are first is the Ohio State study. University researcher developed a questionnaire to be administered in the military and industrial setting. It aid in understanding how subordinates perceive their leader's action. So they find two major categories of leadership behavior. Number one is the people-oriented behavior, and the second is the task-oriented behavior. People-oriented behavior involve leaders are sportive and friendly toward their subordinate, whereas in task-oriented behavior, leaders focus on achievement of goal and structure work accordingly. Second is the University of Michigan study. The researcher at the University of Michigan examined leadership behavior relating to the group members' performance. They made comparison of effective manager with ineffective one. So they identified two style: employee-oriented leadership and production-oriented leadership. Employee-oriented leadership focus on human relation and satisfaction, whereas production-oriented leadership focus on task completion and productivity. So the conclusion of this is employee-oriented leaders are associated with a high group of productivity and higher job satisfaction. Next is the University of Iowa, which is proposed by Kurt Lewin. He gave three styles: democratic style, autocratic style, and laissez-faire style. Democratic style involves subordinates delegating authority and encouraging participation, whereas autocratic style involves dictating work methods, centralizing decision making, and limiting participation. Whereas in laissez-faire style, give group freedom to make decision and complete work. So the conclusion of this is democratic style of leadership was the most effective. Even later studies showed the mixed result. Laissez-faire style used to lead a panel of experts. Next is the managerial grid, which is given by a Robert R. Black and Jane S. Moore, developed by the managerial grid, which is also known as the leadership grid. To support the theory, according to them, the leadership style are identified based on the manager concern for people and production. Following are the various style according to this model: improvised style, country club style, task management style, team style, opportunistic style, paternalistic style, and middle of the road. So this is the managerial grid in which the x-axis show the concern for the production and y-axis show the concern for the people. So this is one is the low and nine is the high, and same one is the low and nine is the high. Here it is 1.1, which is the improvised management, and moving toward here 1.9, which show the country club management. Uh, uh, Here is the 9.9, which is the team management, where the work accomplishes from committed people in interdependence through the common stake organization purpose lead to relationship of trust and respect. And here is the task management where the concern for the production is 9 and concern for the people is 1, which is the efficiency in operation result from arranging condition of work in such a way that human element interference is minimum. So the criticism, no single best behavior for all situation, ignore environmental factors, does not explain why same behavior work in one setting but fail in other, oversimplifies leadership complexity. So the fourth one is the contingency theory. Contingency theory is a general theory that says there is no one singular best way to structure your organization and lead your team. According to this theory, the best leadership style will be contingent on the situation. So when determining the distinct leadership style, contingency theory highlight three main factors. They are following trait, behavior, and situation. Key models in contingency theory. The contingency theory approach to management in the multifaceted and have many implication in support of this theory where contingency model of the leadership were developed. One is the first is the Fiedler contingency model, second is the Hersey Blanchard situational leadership, and the path goal theory. Fiedler contingency model, it is in 1960 developed one of the first contingency theory. The Fiedler contingency theory style are fixed. It gave two factors. The first is leadership style. In this factor, you determine your style of leadership. Fiedler developed a scale called least preferred co-worker scale. According to this scale, the more you rate the person you least like to work with, the more relationship oriented you are. That is high LPC, which is relationship oriented leader. The less you rate the person you like the least working with, the more task oriented you are. That is low LPC, which is task oriented leaders. And the second is the situational favorableness. So this is the Fielder contingency model in which here is the situation which is favorable, moderate, and unfavorable, and performance which is low to high, and leader member relationship good in favorable condition. Task structure is high in favorable situation, and leader's position is power is strong. Whereas in unfavorable situation, the leader member relationship is poor, task structure is low, and leader's position in power is also weak. So this line shows the high performance of high performance in favorable and unfavorable condition, whereas in moderate in whereas low in moderate condition. Whereas in relation oriented, the performance is low in favorable and low unfavorable, and high in moderate situation. The second is Hersey and Blanchard situational leadership. This model identifies four distinct leadership styles, each correspond to specific follower maturity level. The leader's effectiveness depends upon their ability to select the appropriate style for each situation. So the first is telling high task orientation, low relationship orientation. Second is selling high task orientation and high relationship orientation. Third is participating, low task orientation and high relationship orientation. And fourth is delegating, which is low task orientation and low relationship orientation. This is the picture showing the Hershey Blanchard situational model, in which moving from here, in which x-axis shows directive behavior and y-axis shows sportive behavior. Moving from here is telling this sportive low and directive high. And here is the sailing, which is sportive high and directive high. Here is participating, where is sportive is high and directive is low. And there is delegating, which is sportive is low and directing is low. So leadership style by majority level. Majority level M1 is low majority, which involve S1 telling and directing. M2 is medium majority and limited skill, which include S2 sailing and coaching. M3 is the medium maturity and higher skill but lacking confidence. And here S3 is participating and sporting. And M4 is high maturity and S4 is delegating. Third is the path goal theory. Path goal theory proposes four distinct leadership styles, each tailored to specific situation and followers' characteristic. Leaders need to be understand context and adjust their approach accordingly. So the path goal theory have leadership style include sportive leadership, participative leadership, achievement oriented leadership, directive leadership. Achievement-oriented leader behavior is the leaders set challenges goal for their followers. Directive-oriented leader behavior provide clear instruction and guidance. Participative leader behavior, the leader consult with their followers and ask for their suggestion before deciding. Fourth is sportive leader behavior, which create a positive and encouraging work environment. So the fourth principle of path goal theory, clarify goal, communicate the team goal and expectation, removing obstacle, providing support and tailor leadership style. So the criticism on the theory leadership aspect is try to incorporate or complex the behavior, motivation, and the processes to apply the right leadership style are challenging. The theory lack empirical research. The path goal theory failed to explain how leadership behavior correlate to the followers' motivation. The approach is only directed toward the followers. It removed the possibility of the follower being able to affect change on leaders. The theory is complex, hence it is challenging to use in every leadership scenario. So the fourth one is contemporary theory. Contemporary theory goes beyond the traditional approach and emphasizes the importance of vision, inspirational, and ethical values. They focus on fostering long-term growth, employee engagement, and organizational transformation. Under this leadership, we have four style: transformational style, transactional style, servant leadership style, and authentic leadership. So the first one is transformational leadership. Transformational leadership focus on inspiring and motivating followers to achieve extraordinary results. These leaders inspire and empower followers, create shared vision, so include individualized consideration, provide personalized support, mentoring and attention to the each follower's need, idealized influence, leader act as a role model and earn trust, respect through ethics and visionary behavior. Third is the intellectual stimulation. Leader encourage creativity, critical thinking, and innovative problem solving. And next is the inspirational motivation. In leader inspire and motivate followers by communicating and compelling a meaningful vision. So the second is transactional theory. Transactional theory focus on exchanging reward for compliance. Employee achieve objective through reward and punishment set by leader. Motivate follower by appealing to their own self-interest. Work within the organizational culture. So third one is the servant leadership theory. Servant leadership theory prioritizes the need of team member and emphasizes ethical conduct, empathy, growth, and service. This approach places the well-being and development of individual at the core of leadership, fostering a positive and supportive work environment. It often seen in organizations with a strong focus on ethical value and social responsibility. So the fourth one is the authentic leadership theory. The principle of authentic leadership theory are self-awareness, transparency, integrity, and consistency. Next is the charismatic leadership, an enthusiastic, self-confident leader whose personality and action influence the people to behave in a certain way. Characteristic of charismatic leaders are open communication, realistic optimism, emotional maturity, genuine humility, unwavering confidence, empathic listening, and express body language. So the type of charismatic leadership are inspirational charismatic leadership, personal charismatic leadership, and social charismatic leadership. Next is the team leadership. Team leadership is a leadership approach in which the leader primary role is to coordinate, guide, and support a group of individuals working together toward a common goal, ensuring effective collaboration and performance. It focuses on collective success rather than individual authority. So the characteristic of team leadership are building trust among the team member, resolve conflict fairly and promptly, maintain morale during challenging time, promote accountability within the team, encourage innovation and creative problem solving, align individual contribution with organizational goal, and ensure the team meets target and grow stronger. So the next is MCQs. MCQ number one, according to the Hershey and Blanchard situational leadership theory, the delegating style is more appropriate when the followers have A, low ability and low willingness, B, low ability and high motivation, C, high ability and low confidence, D, high competence and strong commitment, E, limited experience and unclear goal.
D.
Yes, D is the right option. MCQ number second, a hospital administrator motivates staff by setting challenging goal, experiencing confidence in their abilities, and encouraging innovation in infection control practice. This reflects A. Transactional leadership based on exchange, B. Achievement-oriented style of path goal theory, C. Autocratic leadership with centralized decision, D. Indifferent style for managerial grid, E. Greatman theory emphasizing destiny.
B.
Yes, B is the right option. MCQ number third, a senior epidemiologist involve experienced team member in surveillance planning but reduce supervision as their competence increase. This reflects which model? A. Builder's fixed leadership style. B. Greatman theory of inherited ability. C. Hershey-Blanchard situational leadership model. D. Trait theory of measurable characteristics. E. Production-oriented behavioral approach.
E. E.
C is the right option. MCQ number 4, the primary limitation of Greatman theory is that it A. Ignore influence of environmental and situational factor. B. Over emphasize follower readiness and competence. C. Focus mainly on motivational pathway. D. Encourage participative decision making process. E. Promotive team based share accountability.
C.
A is the right option. Limitation of Greatman theory ignore influence of environment and situational factor. MCQ number 5, a leader can encourage innovation, challenging existing practice, and mentor individual team member. This describe A. Transactional leadership exchange, B. Transformational leadership influence, C. Autocratic directive leadership, D. Laissez faire passive leadership, E. Improvised managerial grid style.
B.
Yes, B is the right
B.
option. MCQ number 6, the lead preferred co-worker scale is used in A. Path goal motivational model, B. Fielder contingency framework, C. Hershey-Blanchard maturity theory, D. Transformational leadership model, E. Team leadership framework. B is the right
E.
option, used in Fielder contingency framework. So MCQ number 7 is a district health officer build trust in resolve conflict and secure resources for the team. This approach reflects a team leadership model, B. Autocratic leadership model, C. Trade-based leadership model, D. Production only approach, E. Greatman theory.
A.
A.
Yes, A is the right option. MCQ number 8, a program manager builds strong interpersonal relationship with staff while maintaining moderate task focus, leading to improved morale and productivity. According to Michigan study, this leader is A. Production-oriented manager, B. Employee-oriented manager, C. Autocratic decision maker, D. Task-dominating supervisor, E. Opportunistic grid leader.
B.
Yes, B is the right option. MCQ number 9, a leader believes effectiveness depends entirely on the personal trait and ignores environmental influence. This belief aligns with A. Behavior leadership theory, B. Contingency leadership theory, C. Path goal motivational theory, D. Greatman leadership theory, E. Participative leadership model.
D.
D.
Yes, D is the right option. MCQ number 10, the program manager motivates staff by offering incentive for meeting immunization target and issuing warning for underperformance. This demonstrates A. Transformational leadership influence, B. Transactional leadership exchange, C. Servant leadership orientation, D. Democratic leadership approach, E. Participative leadership behavior.
B.
B.
E.
Yes, B is the right option. This is the answer key. There is a YouTube channel where the video of this recording of this presentation will be uploaded. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Rabbia. Very nice presentation, and the